Since its creation in the depths of the Great Depression, the East Bay Regional Park District has grown beyond perhaps even the wildest imaginations of its visionary founders and has become one of the Bay Area's finest and most beloved public assets, with a bright future ahead and a lot of work yet to do as our population continues to increase and diversify and our climate warms up. And Bob Doyle is back, the General Manager of the East Bay Regional Park District. And Bob, you are dealing with all kinds of hopes and dreams and challenges in the years ahead. Let's start with, making these places as accessible successfully as possible to absolutely everyone. What are your hopes and what are the challenges you face?
Well, we kind of started that way. We're not a one-gate entrance park system. We're permeable, and so neighbors have access. They can go and get the parking, go through the parking. But there's a trail system here that provides access everywhere in the system. It's unique in the nation that we're so accessible. That challenge is also a challenge for us too. We have so many people coming to the parks. It's a good problem.
It's a popular place.
Everybody's got to be able to help us. We can't just say they're taking care of it.
So they want everybody to be able to have access to it, no matter where they live, to have these are their parks.
Absolutely.
And yet you have to manage for a lot of popularity. You also have to manage these wonderfully conserved lands that you have protected in a world of a changing climate. And what are the challenges there?
Well, now we're the largest park district in the nation, and we have 122,000 preserved areas. We've been so successful in conservation, but we need to deal with the challenges of the future, increased population and climate change. And climate change is our shoreline, bigger storms, bigger waves, more erosions, more flooding. And in the hills, all our beautiful ridgeland parks, it's fire and managing fire.
And how do you plan to manage for fire?
We can't just leave it alone. We have to get in there. We have crews. We have our own fire people who are experts in dealing with fire. We're not talking about cutting trees. We're talking about cutting brush. The brush grows back after these forests were originally cut or in some cases planted. And we need to thin those forests so that ladder fuel doesn't go up and burn these beautiful trees.
And you need we the people, to be involved with you as part of your team.
Neighbors, cities, other agencies really need to do their part too.
And down on the shoreline, with rising tides and storm surge, what's your strategy there?
Well, we've acquired 55 miles of San Francisco Bay shoreline. It's amazing, and that's all accessible with our Bay Trail and the wonderful access. It's also the place where we're getting flood control surges. So our land is acting as a buffer to protect private property and the economy of the Bay Area. So we're trying to figure out how we protect the land for public use and make it a great buffer, which it is. Marshes buffer big storms, shoreline wetlands behind levees can collect water and release it slowly rather than flooding.
So there's a lot to do to protect the shorelines, give us public access, and 85 years from now, let's get together and see we can celebrate even greater success.
That will be great.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.